In this video, we will discuss entrepreneurial task and how it differs from the managerial task. But before we move on to the topic, I would like to tell you a very common business case for our time, the story of bankruptcy of the video rental chain Blockbuster and the rise of another company, Netflix. So, my friends, let's go back in time to assess the value of Blockbuster in 2007. The answer to this question is tricky and depends entirely on the point of view. Financially, the company Blockbuster had approximately $5 billion in revenue and 9,000 stores across America. Well, from financial point of view, it appeared to be a quite valuable company. But if we look at the same company from the market point of view, we will see that this market it operated in, video rental, was already in decline by that time. What about Netflix? Yes, total revenue of Netflix is significantly less than Blockbuster, reaching only $1 billion in 2007. And from the financial point of view, the company Blockbuster was significantly more valuable than Netflix. But look at the market Netflix operated in streaming video. We will see that Netflix was the market leader, a leader in a rapidly growing and very promising category. Thus, it is often difficult for us to assess the true value of a company, as such an assessment is almost entirely determined by the point of view we take. In this example, from a financial point of view, Blockbuster was more valuable. But from the point of view of the market and market prospects, Netflix appeared clearly undervalued. At the end of 2007, the CEO of Blockbuster, John Antioco, said something like the following. Over the past 4 quarters, he had managed to achieve sales growth in every individual store, reduce operational expenses, and consequently increase profits. And within 3 years, Blockbuster died. It died practically suddenly, and it didn't even resist. Netflix had taken over the entire existing market at the time, and today its annual turnover is around $30 billion, which is comparable to the budget of a small European country. Thus, from this example, we can see that the company Blockbuster perfectly handled its financial, production, and managerial tasks. What it failed was the entrepreneurial task, and that's precisely why it died. So, when we see entrepreneurs facing some problems they can't resolve, they are often fighting not their competitors, but the entrepreneurial tasks themselves and their consequences. Hello, my name is Yaroslav Kaplan, and you are on the Business IQ channel, an intellectual channel for entrepreneurs. In today's video, we will be discussing the difference between entrepreneurial and managerial tasks. If you watch this video to the end, you will learn 3 key factors that distinguish entrepreneurial task from the managerial one. So, the first factor that distinguishes entrepreneurial task from the managerial one is that the managerial task is about division of labor and the process coordination that arises from this division. On the other hand, the entrepreneurial task focuses on the totally different aspects. The first one is to identify the market opportunities, and the second one is whether the entrepreneur is ready to use the resources available to turn them into real market achievements. This is the first key difference that sets the entrepreneurial task apart from the managerial task. The second difference between entrepreneurial task from managerial task is that the managerial task is typically directed inwardly, inside the organization, and involves the resources that the organization already controls. The entrepreneurial task does the opposite. It's directed externally, seeking new resources and opportunities. One of the most valuable opportunities in the external environment of an organization is the customer. That's why the core of entrepreneurial task consists of what can be called the customer's perceived value of entrepreneur's products and services. It is important to note that perception of values relates to what people think, their opinions, their feeling, emotions, rather than certain facts. As an example, I would like to bring up De Beers Company. De Beers is engaged in the mining and sale of diamonds, and what's interesting here is that from 1939 to 1979, over a span of 40 years, they managed to increase their diamond sales from 23 million up to a whopping $2 billion per year. How did they achieve this? Well, in the mid-1940s, the company organized a major advertising campaign called Diamonds Are Forever and positioned their products as the choice number one for the engagement rings. Thus, the company created a high perceived value for their product, focusing not on the diamond itself, but on the family or a family heirloom. This is just one example of how we can create a higher perceived value for our customers. As a third distinguishing feature of the entrepreneurial task from the managerial task, I could mention the language we use to describe a particular task. The managerial task often comes down to question what needs to be done, and the words frequently used in task description would be like increase, develop, bring to the market, open. On the other hand, entrepreneurial task more often comes down to a different question. What do we need to find out? Within the entrepreneurial task, we often hear words like study, determine, assess, conduct an experiment, run a test, and so on. This was the third distinguishing feature of the entrepreneurial task from the managerial task. By its nature, the entrepreneurial task is exploratory, aimed at gaining knowledge about the surrounding environment, new opportunities, and new resources. These were the three most significant distinguishing features of the entrepreneurial task from the managerial task. I'll finish this video here today, and we'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye.